displaced millions others over the past 4 years. Chris Ochamringa, Kinshasa.
And the International Monetary Fund has raised its forecast for India's economic growth in this current financial year to 7.3%, from an earlier projection of 6.6%. The IMF cited strong momentum as the reason for the upgrade. From bureaus worldwide, this
is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Tuesday, the 20th of January for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, we're up and at 'em. Got all your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Obviously, we'll talk a lot about the national championship football game played last night. Indiana beating Miami last night by a score of 27-21 to complete an undefeated season at 16-0. Nebraska has climbed up to number 7 in the latest AP men's college basketball poll. It's the highest ranking in the program's history. Braden Frager of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. Hastings College women's basketball team getting ready to take on the College of St. Mary's for the second time this season. Got some high school basketball to tell you about tonight. Plus, a lot of booze in the National Football League during the past 24 hours or so. So all that and more is coming up with us this morning as we get you up and get you going, get you out the door here this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. As we get going here on another Tuesday, National Championship Monday. You know how I love those big-time title games on Monday nights because that makes all the sense in the world. Let's get up and get after it on a school night. Yeah, whatever. Miami hung it close, just as we mentioned. I mean, I thought as the day went on that 8.5-point spread was the biggest joke. It was screaming trap. Had I had the energy or motivation, probably would have taken a rent payment and went up to the Grand Island Casino and Resort and went over to the Elite Sportsbook and dropped my rent on the Miami Hurricanes, and it came to fruition. Miami played it close. Miami played it tight. Defensive battle in the very first half. A couple missed opportunities, I think, down the stretch, but you got to give credit where credit's due, and you have that Heisman Trophy winner with his Heisman Trophy run now to back it up. I mean, all the highlight reels for until the next great national championship moment are going to be Fernando Mendoza running up the middle and getting hit like a helicopter and going into the end zone and finding a way to get the job done for Coach C and the rest of the Indiana Hoosiers. So they have their first title, capping off a remarkable season, and one that is going to make for some great Hollywood material 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah, that run you mentioned from Mendoza came with about 9 minutes to play in the game. It was on a 4th and 4 call as he got into the end zone. That gave the Hoosiers a 24-14 lead. And again, they went on to win 27-21. They completed a 16-0 season. Remarkable because Indiana had lost 715 games. The second most in FBS history, just one behind Northwestern before they claim their first ever national championship. And Fernando Mendoza now wins the Heisman Trophy. He wins the national championship. The last time that has happened was 2012 when Alabama receiver Devontae Smith pulled off the fact. Anyway.
The fact.
Pull off the fact. pull off the fact. That's a fact that Devontae Smith won the Heisman Trophy and the national championship in 2020. Your good friend, Kurt Cignetti, now has an FBS best record of 27-2 over the past 2 seasons, after Indiana went just 9-27 in its final 3 seasons before he was hired. He's led the Hoosiers to their first 2 10-win seasons in program's history. Indiana joined the 1894 Yale team.
I remember that.
As the only one in major college football history to finish at 16-0. Indiana's win also gives the Big Ten its 3rd national championship in a row. That hasn't happened since the 40s. Minnesota won the national championship in 1940 and 41, and Ohio State won in 1942. So yeah, a lot of firsts after the win last night. Indiana wins.
Roll back that Indiana fact again.
Which one?
That last one you just said.
Indiana's win was also a victory for the Big Ten, as it was the first time
Big Ten
since 1940 through 1942 that the Big Ten has won. So put that where the sun don't shine. SEC. Yeah, we've got the last 3. We've got the last 3 national champions in the Big Ten Conference. Who says the SEC is the football powerhouse conference?
I mean, optics. The draft. The NFL draft, all the players from the SEC. The eyeballs, the millions of viewers every Saturday morning. I don't know. Yeah, it's great, but we come through the playoff. Indiana rose above the crop. I don't see the whole. Oh, we have to root for Indiana now because they're in our conference, and we need a conference team to win a national championship to prove that we are the superior conference. And I've never really felt that, and actually quite the opposite. Most teams in my conference, I end up harboring some hatred towards. Obviously, do you think I really would have given 2 craps about Indiana had they not absolutely undressed us and embarrassed us 2 years ago? Yeah, that gets me a little bit salty. And then to see them come up and win a national championship. You know what else gets me salty about this whole thing is the fact that we've been trying to do this for 25 freaking years. What they just did this year and last year and flipped their program around where they said, screw the process. We're going to blow it up. I'm bringing my kids in from James Madison. I'm bringing some other kids in from the portal. And we're going to make this team into a contender this season.
Yeah, remember.
And all the coaches that we've had and all the processes that we've had to go through and staffs we've had to bring in. And we are not close. Mike, we are not close to that level. You watched that game last night, and you saw a college football team, and then you watch us. There's a gap. There's a gap there, a big gap. And I think that's what kind of frustrates me the most about Indiana. And maybe it was why Kirk said that he has the punchable faces, because he, spits on us. He did it. We can't do it. We're incapable.
Yeah, remember it all started with him taking the job and him bringing 8, 9, 10 guys from James Madison to join his staff there in Indiana. He plucked some guys after the transfer portal, and they're off and running.
And James Madison was left in a better spot.
Yeah,
they made the playoffs.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
Without their roster and their coach from 2 years ago.
So they did basically the same thing, but on a smaller scale.
They flip it on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
We can't even sniff the playoffs. We can't even sniff 8 wins. It's what he's done at Indiana, anybody in the country can do.
Oh, that's what he says. I got some comments coming up from him
I know.
Shortly. He says anybody can do this.
Anybody, especially in today's day and age in college football.
So we'll hear from the winning coach here in a little bit, which leads me to this, because We started on this at the end of the show yesterday, and then kind of ran out of time to really dive into it.
Yeah.
Evidently, there's a deadline looming in the college football playoff committee. They're talking this week about expanding the playoffs as soon as next year. Mm-hmm. The Big Ten and the SEC have the bulk of control over the format because of a memorandum of understanding that was signed by the 10 FBS commissioners, including former American Conference Commissioner and the athletic director for Notre Dame. Anyway, the SEC and the Big Ten have most of the power here. There's overwhelming support in the room for a 16-team playoff to begin as soon as 2016. But the Big Ten won't agree to it unless the SEC agrees to a 24-team format 3 years later.
Nope.
The 24-team field would require the conferences to eliminate their conference championship games, and that's something that has been highly valuable for the SEC, so they're still going to work through that fact. The Big Ten's proposal is to expand to 24 teams, but eliminate the conference championship games, and the SEC is balking at that idea. But what about going to 16 for next year? I think that's the number that you kind of threw out there earlier.
16's how you do it, but 16's how you do it. But you got to eliminate these clauses that are rooted essentially in fairness. Like, we have to have the best conference champion from a non-power. There's a reason they're in the non-power conferences, Mike. There's a reason those teams aren't playing in the Big Ten and in the SEC. Because they don't measure up. They don't add up. They're not close. Yeah, hell, we're not close. We should probably go play in the Sun Belt, but that's besides the point. The idea that we have to give a spot to a team that might be outside this year, well outside the top 12.
And you saw how those teams did. Yeah, you saw how those teams did.
Could you imagine if James Madison had to play Indiana? I mean, that's a bad analogy because of Kirk's identity going to James Madison. But could you imagine that matchup? Indiana destroyed Oregon. Oregon destroyed James Madison. Indiana would have had to have a running clock. We'd have to have a running clock. Yeah, we saw how well those teams did. So I want to eliminate the clause that requires the best two conference champions that are outside of the top 12. That's a really dumb clause when you're talking about we're taking the best 12 teams in the country. Well, technically the best 10 plus 2 because of fairness. So eliminate fairness clause 1 through 16, line them up. 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, 3 plays 14, and you go bracket style. And I think that would be great entertainment. I think that would be great entertainment.
I knew this was going to happen when the college football playoff. Remember when it was at 4?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was just 2 years ago. We were at 4. I said once we start expanding teams, it's like the NCAA basketball tournament. We
Everybody
get to this level, and then you want, let's just add a couple of more. Let's just add a couple of more, and then let's add a couple of more, and here we are. We're talking 24 teams now. We go from 4 to 24 in a matter of a couple of years.
That's a third of the teams available, man. Like, that's just way too many.
Well, that gets more teams from the Big Ten and the SEC in.
I don't care.
Hell, we might be in at 24.
No, please let's at least have a shred of realism. But the idea to go to 24, I don't like the fact that we're holding up the proceedings. Why do we want to go 24? Just because we want to get more schools in. We think we have a better chance to get more schools in at 24. But you're going to have to put the stupid clauses in at 24. It's going to look like essentially 2 12-team brackets like we just witnessed. I don't want bye weeks.
I think those stupid clauses are going to be in the 16-team.
No, then get rid of the stupid clauses. You go 1 through 16. Give me the 16 best teams in the country, and let's have a proper playoff.
You and I don't have a seat at the table.
We should get one. I think we have all of the solutions. The common sense factor will come into play. Now, obviously, again, I sit here and I bitch at a blank wall because at the end of the day, did the proper team win the national championship? Yes. The best team in the country won the national championship, and I think we can say that's safe to say. Do I like the idea of having these little wild card teams? No, I don't. They got demolished. It was not a good first round matchup. I just want the top 16 teams in the country, rank them up, let them play.
All right, so again, the deadline evidently is Friday. They got to come up with their plan.
Are we going to solve this by Friday?
Well, they're meeting all week, so we'll see what happens. Like the deadline is Friday to say what the playoff is going to be for 2026. So anyway, with Indiana's win last night, let's just get started from the top here. With Indiana's win, our Blazing Five sucked last week. God, it's almost embarrassing. No, it's not kind of embarrassing. It is. There's our results. I'll put them up for you on our video screen to people that are watching on our social media sites.
Just flash them up there real quick. Take them off right away. Like, there's no reason to spend a lot of time on this this morning. Just look at it. It's like the sun. Just got to take a glance and look away. There's no reason to stare at these standings right now.
All three of us were losers last week. I don't think that has happened all season long, where all three of us were losers. The IT guy, he had the best record out of the three. He was 2-3.
With 2 wins. So that is well below 500.
I was in second place at 1-4.
Yeah.
And you did a good job picking losers.
Someone's got to do it.
0-5.
Someone's got to do it. You were heating up, so I had to take the torch of bad Blazing Fives. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not a look at yourself in the mirror and be slightly disappointed in your achievements. That's a look at yourself in the mirror and being, you know what, like, are we even really a football fan? Do we even watch this sport?
Yeah, do we even know what the hell we're talking about?
Like, why do I like sports so much? I clearly have no knowledge of them, and my eye tests were very deceiving. But again, I'll say this. I accurately predicted the games that I would stub my toe on. I said I would lose the Rams game. I told you I would lose the Rams game. I said, I'm taking the Rams. I am going to lose on this half point. And then yesterday said, if I could do it over again, not sure what I was thinking in that moment when I placed that bet for Indiana, I would have totally taken the 8.5 points for Miami. If I could have done it all over again. So I told you guys the flaws in my system. That was well documented. But this 0-5, that's just trash.
All right,
and the rest of the football teams, like my Blazing Five looks like the rest of the playoff picture. It's all just trash.
You continue to lead the standings, though.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
61-49. IT guy is sneaking up on you, though. 56-53-1.
Yeah, we're running out of weeks.
Then I'm currently in third place. 49-61. This week we'll have a Blazing Five. I talked with the IT guy yesterday. We'll have the Blazing Five Friday at 7:30 as usual. We'll pick both championship games. Mm-hmm. We'll also pick the over-unders on the championship games.
And there's a player move.
Yeah, then you've got to come up with a prop bet. And there's plenty of prop bets out there for the two games. So all you got to do is
anytime touchdown, 350 yards passing, any of that stuff.
Any of that stuff on the prop bet schedule. So just open up the prop bets and pick one. That's all you got to do. There's probably going to be.
I can do that.
There's probably going to be 100 of them.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be 100 of them for this weekend. So all you got to do is pick one prop bet.
I'm down with that.
You pick both games against the spread. And you pick the over-unders on the AFC and NFC championship games. So that'll be our Blazing Five this week.
That'll work.
Okay, that'll be
speaking of the Blazing 5, and we got some news and notes on the Blazing 5, if you're especially picking the NFC Championship. We all know about Bo Nix and the broken ankle in the AFC title game. The Seattle running back has apparently torn his ACL, so
is that their good one?
Charbonnet is out.
That's their number one running back?
That's their RB1.
He's out.
They split. They split carries in Seattle.
But he gets a lot of time.
He gets, plenty of playing time.
All right, so some injury news, one in each championship game. There were some moves in the NFL yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The Tennessee Titans, first of all, they were interviewing Matt Nagy, who's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. He was the first interview yesterday, and evidently it didn't go well. Because
Chiefs offensive coordinators in bad interviews.
Must be. It must have not have went well because all of a sudden at the last second, they fly in our main man that used to coach the Jets, Robert Saleh.
That's all, yeah.
He was going to interview via Zoom yesterday, but they decided at the last second to bring him to Tennessee. He spent most of the day in Tennessee, and then they completed the in-person interview late yesterday, and now this morning I see they've made it official that he's going to become the 20th coach in the Oilers-Titans history and the 7th coach since the team moved to Nashville in 1997. He'll take over a team that fired Brian Callahan in mid-October and finished 3-14 this year. But as a young quarterback in Cam Ward, the number one pick from last year. Now this will be Robert's second stint as a head coach. He served as the Jets head coach from 2021 to 2024 after a 4-year run as the 49ers defensive coordinator that included a Super Bowl appearance after the 2020 season. We know his time at New York did not end well. He finished 20-36. He was kind of the main guy behind bringing Aaron Rodgers and all the Green Bay Packers guys to New York, and that didn't work well. But now he's going to have a second stint. He's going to be the next head coach of the Tennessee Titans. The Miami Dolphins, they've hired Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley to be their next head coach. Mm-hmm. He signed a 5-year contract, spent 2 seasons with the Packers as their defensive coordinator, during which time Green Bay ranked 9th in yards allowed per game, 6th in yards per play, 8th in points allowed per game. The Dolphins had not won a playoff game in 25 years. Longest drought in the NFL. In fact, Miami last won a playoff game. You might remember this, December 30th of 2000.
Nope.
Against the Indianapolis Colts. Hafley at the time was a senior at Siena University.
Wow.
Before his time in Green Bay, he was the head coach at Boston College, where he was 24-26 in 4 seasons. So the Miami Dolphins going with Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley as their next head coach. And we told you that Sean McDermott was fired yesterday as the head coach of Buffalo. We had that baby pegged, didn't we?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we said he wouldn't make the week. Hell, he didn't make the day yesterday.
No. And rightfully so. That's a move. I was Google searching because I had to think who the hell took over for the Miami Dolphins as quarterback in the year 2000. That's a wild stat. Jay Fielder won a playoff game. Nevertheless, yeah, Sean McDermott, Buffalo, that writing was on the wall. I would argue that it was probably a couple seasons, maybe a little past due. At the end of the day, after that playoff game, you saw. I wasn't disappointed. It wasn't like, oh, I'm sad. it was a Josh Allen that was like, I'm done. Like, I'm checked out. I'm over this place. I'm over losing. This consistent culture of losing that Buffalo has built for themselves in the postseason. And I'll be 100% honest. I think Josh Allen went right up to the owner's box and said, "Me or him, pick." That's what I would have done if I have Josh Allen's skills and abilities. I think he got rid of his head coach, and we'll bring in somebody. It'll be interesting to see who. Like, my odds-on favorites is the current offensive coordinator, and to be 100% transparent, the former offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. I think both of those guys would be great fits in our system. My hope is that you get Joe Brady the headset and let him roam the sidelines as the head coach, and bring back Dable for another stint as OC, who already knows the offense, knows the system, knows and really develop Josh into the quarterback that he is. I think he slides right back into that OC chair, all nice and comfy, like we never let him go the first time, and we make a run at this thing. Brady and Dable would be my 1-2 punch for HC and OC there in Buffalo.
McDermott leaves Buffalo with a 98-50 record, but he was just 8-8 in the postseason, including 2 AFC championship losses to, you know who?
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
No, it was time for him to pack his bags. You got to have some postseason success intertwined in with all the regular season success. We can't just be the best team in the AFC during the regular season and never in any of those years, any of the Josh Allen prime years, Buffalo never even played for a Super Bowl, let alone win one. They didn't play for one, and that to me is the disappointment. The other thing I'm going to say this, I'm going to hot take and get people's little friendly, warm and cozy, fuzzy powder cake, puff cake crap that we see. The social media stuff has to go. With this all these teams that you have a coach that takes you, like, and the grass is brown. The team had a shit year, and they fire their coach, right? Like, that happens in the NFL a lot. We've seen a lot of coaching movements, carousels, what have you. And the very first thing you see from the team is like this, "Oh, thank you, coach, for leading us to new great heights and to bring in your leadership. It was this past 7 games. Oh, we truly appreciated everything you've done for the program." Shut up. That stuff is so fake, so false. The real sentiment, you just got fired because you suck. You couldn't win a damn game. That's why you're fired, not because of the leadership and everything you brought into the... Can you just stop with all that false, fake crap?
Well, that's because the marketing people, the SIDs, probably go to AI and have them write a beautiful little thing.
It's all fake.
It is, concerning their coach. I'm sure they didn't pat each other on the back when they were having a meeting with the owners or the president of football operations and saying, "You know what, Johnny, you're a nice guy." There's
a difference between somebody that, if you spend 27 years in a program and you step down and retire because you've done everything you can do, a.k.a. Nick Saban in Alabama, that deserves a thank you post and probably a statue, right? If you go 8-8 in the postseason, I'm not giving you a thank you note. I'm not saying you did a great job.
He was 98-50.
You did just enough to keep your ass off the chopping block for as long as you did. But you couldn't win a damn game in the playoffs. That's why you're fired. I'm not going to thank you for that. I'm not going to thank you for wasting probably a generational talent quarterback in the NFL and having him with no rings. I'm not going to thank you for that. There's nothing to thank.
You're going to load up his stuff, help him load up his stuff in his car?
Pack your stuff and get out. Next coach.
All right. So those are some of the things we're discussing here today. If you'd like to chime in, we've covered a lot here already in the first 30 minutes of the show. 402-834-1330 is our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330. You can leave a message on our social media sites as well. So, Dolphins have a new head coach. Tennessee has a new head coach. Buffalo will be among the teams looking for a new head coach. One other note, we don't talk a lot of NBA basketball on this show, but Golden State Warriors wingman Jimmy Butler suffered a season-ending torn right ACL in their game last night. Their 135-112 win over the Miami Heat. Their injury comes as the surging Warriors have won 12 of their past 16 games. They're starting to climb back up the standings due in part to Butler's recent performance. He entered Monday averaging 21.3 points and 53% shooting in January. He put up 17 points in 21 minutes against his former team before the injury last night. Of course, Butler was traded from the Heat to the Warriors in February of 2025, agreeing to a 2-year, $111 million extension to get the deal over the finish line. So Jimmy Butler, one of the main cogs for the Golden State Warriors, he's done for the season with a torn right ACL suffered in Monday night's game. So there you go. That's the headliner from the NBA from overnight. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday. It is 7:31.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start off in the city of Hastings, where the City of Hastings Development Services Department will be holding 2 meetings to discuss the land use section of the Hastings City Code, and they're looking for public input. The first will take place on Thursday, and then next Wednesday, both at 4:30 in the Meeting Room A at the Hastings Public Library. The meetings are the first step for the City of Hastings rewrite of Chapter 54 of the Municipal Code, Google that, which addresses zoning. The meetings will introduce the first draft of proposed changes. The Development Services Department is asking the public's input concerning the changes. This is important because every other part of zoning builds off the zoning districts and authorized land uses. The next step following these meetings will be more public meetings to discuss other sections of City Code. What part of City Code is casino in for land use? Next topic, we go to election news. Grand Island Mayor Roger Steele has told KSNB-TV that he is stepping down to pursue other interests and will not endorse a mayoral candidate to replace him. Mayor Roger Steele for Grand Island not seeking re-election. Finally, back in Hastings, the Parks and Rec Department will be putting together a long-standing popular game show and recreating it on next Thursday, the 29th, the Right Price Night. For ages 21 and older, 6:30 to 8:30 at the City Auditorium. For the second year, Hastings Parks and Rec Department has added additional elements inspired by a variety of shows, including its own take on Golfer's Challenge. Additionally, the game will include original activities and games created by Farrens that pay homage to the television show. The big change between the show and Parks and Rec Department event is the amount of potential contestants. In the Parks and Rec Department version, 4 new contestants are brought up to participate each round, and 2 of the 4 will appear on stage in the game. Prize donations and sponsorships still needed and will be accepted through January 23rd. It's coming up on 7:34. We'll head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Nebraska has climbed to number 7 in the latest AP Men's College Basketball poll. It's the highest ranking in the program's history. The Huskers are 18-0 in the season, 7-0 in the conference. They'll play host to Washington on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 8. Arizona is ranked number 1, followed by UConn, Michigan, Purdue, and Duke. Rounding out the top 10 are Houston, Nebraska, Gonzaga, Iowa State, and Michigan State. Illinois is in at number 11. Nebraska remains number 24 in the women's poll. Huskers are 14-4, 3-4 in the conference. They'll play at Wisconsin on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 6:30. Top 5 teams in this week's poll are UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, Texas, and Vanderbilt. Braden Frager of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. Frager scored 23 points and tied his school freshman record with 7 3-pointers in Nebraska's 90-55 win over Oregon last week. He scored 20 points in Nebraska's 77-58 win over Northwestern. Hastings College women's basketball team will play the College of St. Mary's tomorrow at Lynn Farrell Arena. The Broncos beat the Flames 100-58 earlier this year in Omaha. Game time will be at 6. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 5:45. High school basketball tonight. Gretna will play at Hastings High. Superior is at Hastings St. Cecilia. And Adams Central will play host to Ord. We'll have the action from the Patriots gym on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 4:45 this afternoon. And again, in the college football national championship game last night, Indiana beat Miami 27-21. That's a check in your sports headlines. 7:36 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warmer conditions work back into the area on Tuesday with plenty of sunshine, light winds, and a high in the mid-40s. Overnight tonight, we'll have low in the upper teens with less wind, but then on Wednesday, the winds return. We can expect gusts up to 30 miles per hour. It'll still be sunny with the high in the upper 40s. 15's the overnight low Wednesday night to Thursday morning, and then we're a little cooler with the high in the upper 30s.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got south winds at 3 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy, 12 degrees in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Hey, this is Mick from Miletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. Just a reminder, winter hours will be Saturdays, 11:30 to 9, January through February. That's just one day a week. But come in for lunch. Homemade soup specials on Saturdays. Stick around for the evening meals that start at 5. And while you're at it, stock up on your favorite wines. Workhorse, Elephant Ear, Cuban Tiger, and more are available at Miletta Vista and wherever great Nebraska wines are sold. Miletta Vista Winery, good wine, good food, no snow boots required, but we won't judge.
All right, Mike Wills, Heinsohn of Bronick with you as Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Again, thanks for joining us wherever you're listening to us this morning. Appreciate that. Whether you're online at x-streamsports.com, your smartphone with our free mobile app on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. The national championship game last night won by Indiana, beating Miami 27-21, just as we predicted on the show yesterday. Indiana would probably win, Miami would cover, and everybody in Vegas, they're ecstatic today. Vegas was absolutely loaded on Indiana, and Indiana did not cover the spread. So all the executives there in Vegas are probably huddled in their glass little offices today saying, we won all this money last night. We better build something. Yeah, we better renovate, or hell, let's just demolish something and we'll just start all over. We got so much money right now because we took the public to the cleaners last night in the game.
They put out the number yet? How much was spent? And
how much they won?
I'll be very curious when those final numbers come through.
It'll be later today. Anyway, Indiana was favored by, I heard 7.5 to 8.5 points, and they won by 6.
A lot of property tax revenue going to the city of Grand Island with their casino and sports book.
Yeah, I assume that Grand Island is probably also loaded on for Indy too. So
let's take those numbers to the city council and be like, "See,
I told you
we could have this."
Kurt Signetti is the head coach of Indiana. That's Tyson's little buddy. He's got a punchable face.
My favorite.
Anyway, he was obviously before us last night. Says he's proud of his team.
Okay, hard-fought game. Give a lot of credit to Miami. It was a real gut check. We found a way. It's credit to our guys' resiliency to find a way to get that done. It's a great thing. Indiana winning the national championship 2 years into our tenure. You do it with people and a plan. Can't say enough about our senior leadership and the people we have in the locker room and the people we have on our staff and our strength and conditioning staff, support staff, and the commitment we received from President Witt and Scott Dolson. I would like to say our NIL is nowhere near what people think it is, so you can throw that out. And this team really overcame a lot on the road in a lot of tight games and found a way to get it done. And we're 16-0, and I guess we're 27-2 since Indiana, but we're 16-0.
16
national champions at Indiana University, which I know a lot of people thought was never possible. It probably is one of the greatest sports stories of all time, but it's all because of these guys and the staff. So proud of them, and it's a great night.
Again, the big play in the fourth quarter was a run by Hoosiers quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza. He took it in from on a 4th and 4 to give the Hoosiers a 24-14 lead to kind of salt that baby away for Indiana.
That particular play didn't feel really good about kicking a field goal there. The play before, they were in the coverage for the quarterback draw, which we put in specifically in the medium package in the low red against that look. We had to block it a little different than we normally do, and that was about a 45-minute discussion in the staff room how we were going to call it and do it. Line did a great job executing, so the back, and Fernando trucked the linebacker, broke a few tackles. And, let me tell you, Fernando, I know he's great at interviews and comes off as the All-American guy, but he has the heart of a lion when it comes to competition. I mean, that guy competes like a warrior, and, he got really smacked a few times in this game. That one drive we kicked the field goal, there should have been two roughing the quarterbacks and one high hit to the head that weren't called. I'm all for letting them play, but when they cross the line, you got to call them. And I can't say enough about his effort on that play and our team finding a way to get it done.
And the coach also said Indiana's victory will send a message to the college football world.
I think we sent a message, first of all, to society that if you keep your nose to the grindstone and work hard and you got the right people, anything's possible. In our particular situation in the athletic world, college football's changed quite a bit, the balance of power also. But we had the right people on our staff, in the weight room, in the locker room. And we had great senior leadership and togetherness, and we had a really good quarterback that played his best when the chips were down. And if you prepare the right way, which this team did week in, week out, and put it on the field, we met the challenge every single week, and we're 16-0. Are there 8 first-round draft choices on this team? Probably not. No, there aren't. But this team, the whole was greater than the sum of its parts.
All right, there he is, winning coach Curt Cignetti of the Indiana Hoosiers, 16-0 as they win the national championship game last night over Miami. First time that a team finished 16-0, what did we say, since 1894.
Duh.
Well, yeah, we haven't had 16 games.
We haven't had 16 games. Haven't had 15, haven't had 14. Like, it's not fair to jump to those comparisons and conclusions like, oh, this is such a historic run. They won 16 games. Well, yeah, they have to win a national title. That's the new rules.
Hasn't been done since 1894. I wonder what we were doing back in 1894. We didn't have a college football playoff system back in 1894.
Barely had air to inflate the footballs in 1894.
I mean, they must have just played all the time back in the 1800s. What else did they have to do?
What else did they have to do? Nothing. I don't know.
So, there you go.
Yeah, he said all the things, Anybody can flip a program now. And to that end, I think the urgency and patience of some of these hires and some of these coaching contracts, and we've seen them. We've seen some of these extensions that go well beyond 2030 and past that. Eventually, it's going to be to the point where your extension is going to be that you're going to be the coach next year, and that's about as much confidence as we're going to give you to flip this program around. You got to start being postseason. I mean, I think that's number one. You got to be able to consistently at least fight for a playoff spot, be in the discussion. But I don't think that there's any more room to talk about a process. Go and flip your program. If you had a bad year, go in the transfer portal and flip it. Enough of this buying in crap and getting people to stick around. If they want to go, let them go. If they want to go, let them go. If they don't have the heart and desire to play here, then let them go pursue other opportunities. Bring somebody else in. Next man up. But every time I hear the word process, I'm going to make it like a drinking game on this show or something for Rule next year and just take it down a shot every time he says process. Because there is no more process in college football. That's done.
Yeah, if you're going to drink a shot every time he says process.
It's going to be a great fall.
Wow. Most of the time you hear that is on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't bode well. Doesn't bode well for you.
Doesn't bode well for our program.
Process.
We're still trusting the process over here. Indiana's just won a national championship. They went 16-0 with a coach with a punchable face, and he said it. A team that's not going to have a handful of first-round draft picks. That wasn't a super team. That's not an all-star team. That's not the 94 Bulls that just ran through everybody. That's a team that was well put together, with pieces that were quintessential to winning football games, with an ego that nobody's rose over anybody else's. That's a well put together football team, and they proved that this season. They proved it last year.
I was going to say, we play Indiana next year.
I can hardly wait.
I'll wait for that game. All right, 402-834-1330 is our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. I was talking to people who had talked to Tim Stroman, who's our Denver Broncos guy, and he's all fired up. Him and his family are big Denver Broncos fans. They're going out to the AFC Championship game, evidently.
To go watch their backup quarterback?
Yeah, to go watch their backup quarterback. They got tickets, or they were looking for tickets, and they were this price, and as soon as the information was out that Bo Nix was injured, supposedly the tickets were sliced in half.
Oh, no.
The ticket prices.
Because they still have home field, right?
Oh, yeah, they're
they were the top seed.
Yeah. So that
Somehow.
championship game is going to be in Denver. See, evidently the prices sliced almost in half.
Was it the Bo Nix? Was it the Bo Nix injury, or was it the weather forecast?
I don't know. Is the weather going to be bad?
It's supposed to be cold this weekend.
That's all right.
Miserably cold this weekend.
That's all right.
Probably some snow, I would imagine.
That's all right. That's the way it was in Chicago the other night. Rams didn't have any problems with it. They won. So, anyway, the
cover.
Championship games, they didn't cover by half a point.
They didn't cover by half a point, we know.
Which was
horse racing news. Jim Schleicher chiming in on the comments section.
Oh, he's getting fired up.
We've got the $3 million Pegasus Stakes running this weekend at Saratoga, Gulfstream Park. Field of 12 expected to include Disco Time, Tappan Street, and Whiteabrio. I like Tappan Street.
I'll take Disco Time.
Well, I figured you would go back into time and put your bell bottoms on. And
oh, that was a great time.
You love yourself some Bee Gees and Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, I love them.
You love putting on your boogie shoes.
I do, so I would go probably with the Disco Time. I don't know anything about those horses, but I would go with Disco Time.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you like?
Tappan Street.
Tappan Street. That's going to be on Saturday. We could maybe make that part of our Blazing Five.
There you go.
Horse race, because we can't pick anything else.
Honestly, at this point, I just went 0-5 on. I had 5 games to pick from. They were the only 5, and I managed to blank on all of them. So I'd probably have better odds to include the horses at this point.
Season's coming on here shortly.
Can't wait.
Anyway, Disco Time. I'll be all over that Saturday. 7:51. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Starting with election news, Grand Island Mayor Roger Steele is reportedly not running for re-election. Steele telling KSNB that he is stepping down to pursue other interests and will not be endorsing a mayoral candidate to replace him. Meanwhile, in the city of Hastings, the City of Hastings Development Services Department will be holding not one but 2 meetings to discuss the land use section of Hastings City Code and is looking for public input. The meetings will be taking place this Thursday and then next Wednesday, January 28th, at the Hastings Public Library at 4:30. These meetings are the first steps for the City of Hastings to rewrite Chapter 54 of the Municipal Code, which addresses zoning. The meetings will introduce the first draft of the proposed changes. The Development Services Department is then asking for the public's input concerning the changes. It's an important step because every other part of zoning builds off the zoning districts and authorize land uses, like for casinos. The next steps following these meetings will be more public meetings to discuss other sections of city code. Hastings Parks and Rec Department is holding a fun, long-standing, popular game show recreation coming up on Thursday, January 29th. It is the Right Price Night Out edition. Ages 21 and older will be from 6:30 until 8:30 at the City Auditorium. For the second year, the Parks and Rec Department has added additional elements inspired by a variety of shows. Additionally, the fun game will include original activities and games created by Farrens to pay homage to the television show. The big change is the number of contestants. On this particular variation, 4 contestants begin on Bidder's Row, and then 1 person is replaced each round, and another is called up to the stage. In the Parks and Rec Department, 4 new contestants are brought up to participate each round, and 2 of the 4 will appear on stage in the game. The Right Price, not to be confused with the other way around, the Right Price provides an opportunity to also highlight local businesses, as prize donations and sponsorships are still needed and will be accepted through this Thursday. It is now 7:54. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Got some high school basketball coming up tonight. Gretna will play at Hastings High. Superior is at St. Cecilia. And Adams Central will play host to Ord. We'll have the action from the Patriots gym on Extreme Sports today. A little bit different setup. 5 o'clock for the girls game, 6:30 for the boys. That means pregame will be at 4:45 this afternoon here on Extreme Sports. Hastings College women's basketball team, they'll play the College of St. Mary's tomorrow night at Lynn Farrell Arena. The Broncos beat the Flames 100-58 earlier this year in Omaha. Game time will be at 6. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame at 5:45 tomorrow. Braden Frager of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. Meanwhile, the Nebraska men's basketball team, they're up to number 7 in the latest AP poll, the highest ranking in the program's history. The Huskers are 18-0 in the season, 7-0 in the conference. They'll play host to Washington on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 8. And Nebraska remains number 24 in the women's poll. Huskers are 14-4. They're 3-4 in the conference. They'll play at Wisconsin on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 6:30 for their game. And again, in the national championship college football game last night, Indiana beat Miami 27-21. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:56 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warmer conditions work back into the area on Tuesday with plenty of sunshine, light winds, and a high in the mid-40s. Overnight tonight, we'll have low in the upper teens with less wind, but then on Wednesday, the winds return. We can expect gusts up to 30 miles per hour. It'll still be sunny with the high in the upper 40s. 15's the overnight low Wednesday night to Thursday morning, and then we're a little cooler with the high in the upper 30s.
As you wake up this morning, south winds, 3 miles per hour. Partly cloudy. It's 12 degrees in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you. Restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Welch, Center Product, huddle up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday. Again, we'll have a basketball tonight, Adams Central and Ord. Girls game tonight will be at 5, with the boys game at 6:30 on the air with a pregame from the Patriots gym this afternoon at 4:45 here on Extreme Sports. A couple of things I want to bring up. We've got a NASCAR fantasy league coming up. In fact, it's going to be starting here in a couple of weeks with the beginning of the season, the Daytona 500. If you're interested in playing with us, go to our website and get our email addresses and shoot us an email, and we'll get you set up on how you can join our Extreme Sports.
AKA, we'll take your money.
Fantasy Racing League.
We'll take your money.
So anyway, you can call. You can shoot us an email. We'll get you details on how you can join us in our NASCAR league. We're also we put the finishing touches on our bracket challenge for this year. I know that's still several weeks away, but just be ready for that. We're going to have a bracket challenge again this year.
What's the greater upset? Just a quick hypothetical. Indiana winning a national championship based on where they were as a program, or Tyson winning fantasy NASCAR. What would be the bigger upset? What would be the bigger sports story of the year?
Or you winning the bracket challenge.
I'm not winning that. That'll be page 3 again.
You were on page 3 last year.
I'll be on page 3 again.
If you happen to win that baby, that'd be a story.
I get too excited. I get too many upsets. I do it every year.
Yeah, you always think there's going to be all these upsets like in the first or second rounds, and then that makes you play from behind the entire bracket challenge.
I'm constantly behind the 8 ball.
Yep. And
I'm always saying things like, well, technically I didn't have them going very far anyway, so this doesn't hurt. I didn't have them going very far because I had them losing. Like, there's already a loss. It's a loss is a loss is a loss. Like,
you got to change your system.
I got to change my system.
The bracket challenge.
It's not a very good system.
We're gonna hook you in to the NASCAR Fantasy League.
I can't wait.
That's starting with the Daytona.
I'm dominating fantasy. Like, this is the most excited I've ever been about NASCAR ever.
Well, because you bought the game and everything.
It's for research purposes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell, I
watched the Netflix series. I'm taking notes. I'm even looking at like drivers in tracks and track performances, and there's differences. Like, some guys do really well at short tracks.
Yeah.
Some guys do really well at the super speedways.
Yep.
It's not just Denny Hamlin's a great driver and does great everywhere. No, sometimes he's not in the top 10.
No, he sucks on road courses.
Right. That's why you don't like him.
Yeah, because
I hate road courses. You don't like road courses? Is just because Denny Hamlin sucks at them, or is it because
I don't like road courses?
You just don't like them in general.
I think racing, you need to turn left and not right.
They're kind of a wild card. I like the road courses in that they're kind of a wild card.
Yeah, because the guys that are good at road courses usually are not good anywhere else, with the exception of a couple of guys. But usually you see upsets like on the road courses. Anyway, that's a couple of things. If you'd like to play with us in the NASCAR Fantasy League, again, shoot myself or the IT guy an email, and we'll get you set up. You can find our emails on our website at x-streamsports.com.
Don't email me. I'll just be like, email them.
Yeah.
That'll be the reply I give you.
What are you
doing? Email them.
Yeah, we'll get you in. I got signed up over the weekend.
Did you?
Yep. I'm going to come up with a name, though. I'm going to change my name.
I'm just going to be Team Busch Light.
That's clever.
Team Busch Light.
Because
we're going for the Busch Light car.
Yeah.
Chief and I.
Oh, you're going to need some help from Chief?
Chief and I are big Ross Chastain fans because he's got the Busch Light car.
So he'll help you out. So, all right, anything else going on we haven't covered?
Dude, that's like it. There's Championship League football today. By that I mean soccer in Europe. And then there's some good top 25 action in college hoops tonight. Ryan Martin. Well, I was wondering why we weren't hearing from Ryan Martin this morning. He must be taking his nap.
Wait a minute.
What?
I've got some news.
Oh.
I've got some
breaking news? Okay.
I've got some news about
Well, while
Kansas.
you dig up the news, Kansas plays Colorado tonight at 10 p.m.
You kidding me?
That's a 10 o'clock start.
Kansas head coach Bill Self hospitalized Monday out of caution. He evidently went into the hospital, did not travel with the team to Colorado. Self was feeling under the weather before he was taken to the hospital where he received IV fluids. Of course, Self, who's 63, had multiple health scares in recent years. Jayhawks will face Colorado on the road tonight before going to in-state rival Kansas State on Saturday. So Bill Self, hospitalized. I expect him to probably coach the team tonight at Colorado.
One of the nation's undefeated teams and finally ranked out of the MAC, Miami, Ohio, is playing Kent State tonight. That's a 6 o'clock start. Michigan and Indiana is on Peacock at 6 p.m. And that pretty much sums up the good college basketball. Oh, wait, no. Georgia and Missouri. And then St. Louis is 17-1 and inside the top 25. The Billikens are playing Duchesne.
All right.
At 6 p.m.
Good stuff there. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can. Go to our podcast section, download the podcast, listen to it at your convenience today. Always like you enjoying those throughout the day today. If not, be back again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.